In the hip hop world, album legacies are debated with passion. In this culture, the dedicated hosts, First Class Regg and Taurian B, are who revisit and re-examine these projects. They're part of an elite squad known as Rap in Order. These are their verdicts. All right, cool. Welcome to another episode of Rap in Order. I'm First Class Regg.
I'm Taurian B.
What we doing today?
Black Panther.
Black Panthers, baby. Yeah. Speaking of that, did you see those, you saw those leak images, right?
I did. And apparently they're real.
Yeah. That's why I didn't want to look too much into it, but I know it's real.
Yeah, it's real. So, I mean, it's concept art, and that doesn't mean that it's going to be shown, but like the variant of Black Panther of T'Challa definitely looked like Damson Idris. They show concept art from Doom War or Doomsday. I'm not sure what name they finished.
I think from Doomsday.
Man. And like they show like some of the art. So and Secret Wars, you read Secret Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Secret Wars comic book, like they show like parts that like could be in there from like when he becomes, a God Doom.
Yeah.
And everything. I thought that was cool. And they had Doctor Strange there with the green cape on, and they had Susan Richards and Franklin Richards. There was like a court, people. Then they showed stuff with the Young Avengers and like Peter Quill and who else was it? Was it Vision?
I don't remember Vision.
Peter Quill was in it. Who? Oh, and Wong. Peter Quill and Wong with the Young Avengers. What other color art did they show? Like it was. I'm just going to tell myself that it's real.
I think it is real. I think from when I first saw it, it came from one of those reliable sources. And I looked at it like real quick, and I was like, nah, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to ruin anything for myself for when this is a rollout. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. But in the superhero realm, we didn't get a chance to talk about Daredevil.
Oh man, amazing!
First 2 episodes are out. How do we feel about them? You like them?
Listen, everybody. Like the 2 episodes will have been out for 2. We should be, by the time this episode comes out, the 4th episode will be out. So if you ain't seen the first 2 episodes, that's on you. That's not on us. Foggy Nelson is dead.
Yeah. So okay, do you believe that he's gonna come back?
What?
There's a theory that he's going to come back because they're the address, and I've been seeing this too. So the address to their firm, I believe, is 468, and issue 468 is solely based on Foggy faking his death. So that was one thing that people pointed out that I thought was cool. And even when you read that, I don't know how much they're going to pull from that if it's true. I think if Foggy comes back, it'll be kind of whack. He should only come back if it's a flashback.
I didn't read that comic, but is he a zombie?
No, so he fakes his death in that issue. Yeah,
I feel like Matt will fuck him up.
Yeah, so and the only reason why I'm not really buying into that is because Matt heard his heart stop,
right?
Like in this one. So I don't know how they would use that.
Yeah, I think it's you wanna know what's bothering me? That people keep mentioning that there's poor reviews on the episodes.
Yeah, so I've seen poor reviews on the season.
I don't care.
I don't care either, because I like what I'm getting so far. I already see the tension between Kingpin and Daredevil. Like, it's reinvigorated. It's different. It's from different angles. These dudes are like intertwined forever, right? So like, I like where this is going. I even like how episode 2 ended, because he was so busy trying to shut out this dark side of him, and he just opened it back up with that yell at the end.
That was very Jackie Chan of him.
Yeah, that's the only way. I don't want trouble.
I don't want trouble, and then he kills them.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see how that goes. White Tiger. That's going to be an interesting add-on. I want to see what else, because
the guy that plays White Tiger passed away in real life.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. He finished filming before, his passing, but
how did he pass? Do we know?
I don't know.
Okay.
But
rest in peace to him. Either way.
White Tiger is going to be a cool character. It is funny because in the show, it is kind of true to his original story. In the comic books, he has really bad luck in the comic books. Like he basically he stayed getting arrested. for some shit like helping, and the cops are just dirty.
Yeah. I want to see how else they utilize Dex. Bullseye. I want to see what else he gets into.
Does you think he has a super soldier serum?
Well, yeah, he has to, because I mean that nigga fell from that building on his face.
Yeah.
He fell on his face, and he's fine. You know.
Do you think that the rest of the defenders are gonna be brought in?
Yeah, I hope so. I think there's already a rumor of what's her name that played Kristen Ritter?
Yeah.
She was in New York the other day.
Okay.
She was in New York the other day, so they felt like it has to do with Daredevil. So it's like some things, huh?
She's in Dexter.
She's in Dexter. She's another character.
Oh, okay. So, but yeah, so I think I would love to see Jessica Jones brought back. I would love to see Luke Cage brought back. Danny Rand, I didn't really like him, so I want him recasted. But I would just I think Netflix was onto something. They was doing really good with that shit.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree. I think so too. I know Shale Choker, if they bring back Luke Cage, is going he's gonna be heartbroken because he can't, he can't do the Wu-Tangification.
Yeah, I know, that's true.
Yeah,
which was really cool that he did. That was a cool add-on. Did you ever make it through season 2 of Luke Cage?
I did.
It actually is not bad. Besides the dab thing everybody hates.
The dab is not even the thing that killed me. It was the villain.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, it was the dab.
The dab, it wasn't that bad. Also, getting into Heroes for Hire. I guess if they would have got the 3rd season, they could have went into that. But that's what I really wanted them to lean into, because they made it seem like he was a full-on villain. I'm like, well, I mean, no, and it's it went backwards, because Luke started out doing Heroes for Hire and then he became a hero.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever.
We'll see. I would like to see more of Luke Cage. What else is happening?
Let's see what else is happening. Baseball season is upon us, and I am afraid to say that it looks like the Dodgers are going to two-peat, because they're just fucking loaded. So that's that. I mean, I'm Yankees all day. I say that with a Dodgers hat on, but I do this for color schemes, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Yankee fan, but that's something that I'm really looking forward to. I'm going to watch a lot of baseball this year. I promised myself that this year was going to be the year that I watched a lot of baseball.
I'm trying to go to another hockey game.
Oh yeah, we had a good time at the hockey game.
We went to a hockey game. The Penguins and the Rangers.
Yeah,
it's a great game. And
it was a great game.
Yeah, everybody was really for it being my first time being in that scope of fanfare. It was pretty cool. Everybody was really nice.
Yeah, everybody was really nice. We ate really good.
Oh my god! Yeah. Shout out to fucking Verizon.
Yeah, shout out to Verizon,
right?
Man.
That shit was cool. We had some lamb chops.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I ate. I went in there. I got to it.
We had some good seats. Larry David was in the building.
Yeah, man. Larry David just Larry. I want Larry David he just be at events. He was sitting with Stephen A.
I was just about to say that.
Yo, bro. Yeah, that is such a Curb Your Enthusiasm moment.
Yeah, I would love to see his POV.
You're like, yo, Stephen A. Smith. He asked me to come with him to the game. He goes to the game. Yo, LeBron just. I bet you Steve, he was like, yo, LeBron's walking over here.
Yeah. Yo, what's he gonna say? He looks mad. What's he gonna say? I wonder what he's gonna say.
Nah, bro, that's fucking crazy.
It's funny because when they showed Larry early on, they were making a joke oh, hopefully he doesn't trip Luka like how he tripped Shaq
right.
Curry.
Yeah.
And none of what happened yesterday involved him.
None of that. That's pretty cool. What else? I'm trying to think. Because this is the off week episode, right?
Yeah. Are you watching White Lotus?
Yo, I can't get into it.
Damn, none of the seasons?
No, I'm talking about this season.
Okay, yeah. So
Sarah's locked in. I can't get into it.
This season is dragging a little bit. I feel like last season we was already turned up by this point. This season is taking its time a lot more, and I think it's only 8 episodes, so they need to speed it up. I think the next one is going to be the one that they turn it up.
I guess so. Okay, so Kelly from Insecure that's on the show. I don't know her name on White Lotus, but I know she's Kelly from Insecure. Yeah. She confronted dude because, she was
he was on last season. Yeah. She's like, yo,
no,
I know
the season
you.
before. He was on the first season.
He was on the last season too.
He was?
Yeah.
Oh, he left her, right?
Yeah, boyfriend.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, that's what I was connected to. I couldn't remember. So he left her.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he's being inconspicuous. I still don't know why he got her killed.
Yeah, so that's the thing with White Lotus too, is that like they kind of raise all these plot points and then it all ties together at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So right now there's a lot of questions that need to be answered. And we just gotta wait and see. But I feel like them freaky ass girls from the last season, they had shit turned up and they was fucking all those rich men and stealing their money.
Mm-hmm.
By this time we was really invested.
Yeah.
I mean I was.
I was.
So with this season,
rob that young boy, man.
oh yeah. With this season, I just don't know who to be invested with yet. I just know Patrick Schwarzenegger's character is insanely horny all the time.
I think he's gay.
In the show?
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being gay, but I think he's closeted.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think he wants to fuck his brother.
Oh, see, I didn't take it there.
I think
That's
he's
crazy.
incestuous and I think he's gay.
That's wild. I didn't think about that. But I just know whatever his character is going to be something crazy. And I don't know what his dad is into. His phone keep ringing.
I think your dad look like he about to fucking shit his pants.
Yeah. And it was like, yeah, give me your phone. He's like, what? I gotta give up my phone? Like it's this whole thing. So right now, we don't know what's happening. I just know I trust White Lotus because they gave us 2 amazing seasons. So we'll see.
Have you watched the show The Pit?
No, I keep hearing about that though.
So The Pit is this show is based in the ER and it's one day.
Mm-hmm.
So I forget how many episodes, but it's a shift at the in the ER and like all these like different stories. So every episode is 1 hour of things happening, and there's so much shit that's happening in this ER. It actually makes me feel bad for the people that work in the ER department because there's so much stuff that happens. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like.
It's like a drama.
Yeah, it's a drama, and like it's just imagine working in a like it's the equivalent of like working like in like a a very like tense situations, and like you have all these people, you have new doctors, you have young doctors, old like nurses, like medics and all that shit, and all of this stuff is happening, and so every episode there's like different things happening. There's people coming in that are OD'd. There's people that are coming in that were like partying the night before that OD'd on Molly. So like they had to like put them in like huge ice baths.
Okay.
There's like a little girl drowned in the pool trying to save her sister. Like it's like all these different things happening.
It gives you the POV of the doctors in real time on the job.
On the job. And their real lives. Like one of the doctors has a miscarriage on the episode.
Okay.
Like, it's like intense.
That sounds like The Bear, but the hospital version.
Kind of.
Yeah.
But imagine one shift of The Bear. Like each episode is like a full day, but it's like they break every hour into an episode. Like and all that shit is happening. So
yeah, I might get into that. It's on Max, right?
Yeah, it's on Max.
Yeah,
that's how me and Sarah found it. I stopped watching what is that? Dorm Girls Have Sex. What's the name of that show? So Campus Girls Have Sex. Something on it was on Max as well. I stopped watching because Renee Rapp's not on there anymore.
Oh, I never even heard of that show.
Yeah,
that's on Max too.
Yeah, Mindy Kaling made the show.
Oh,
that's why I
don't really trust her pen like that.
Oh damn,
she wrote The Office, huh? Well, some of it.
Yeah.
Damn. You know The Office?
She's funny. She's funny. I like The Office. I'm saying she's funny. She's not fully responsible for The Office.
You kind of said that kind of weird.
Yeah.
I'm just saying because she gave us that what's that cartoon that she gave us? That was trash. It was with one of the characters from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, Velma. That was terrible.
Oh, and that had nothing to do with the Scooby-Doo.
It was kind of just Velma's own story, which is a cool concept, but she fucked it up. And I think they canceled it. But y'all say it's good. Maybe I'll tap in.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, the sex lives of college girls.
Oh, I've seen this pop up. Okay.
Yeah, Renee Rapp left the show because, she's a huge like music superstar now.
Okay.
And like the show sucks now.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. All right. Well, we'll see. Issa Rae has a new doc coming out. It's premiered at South by Southwest.
About what?
Whoa. No, he's wildin'.
What?
What do you mean? You don't like Issa Rae?
She's okay.
What do you mean she's okay? Did you see One of Them Days?
No.
Why not? Why you didn't see it?
I got a newborn at home, bro. I don't got time to go to the movie.
All right. I mean, that's fair. That's a trump card. You can use that for anything. But you said it like you have a gripe towards Issa Rae,
I don't
not
have a
that you're
gripe
busy.
towards her, but it's just like I feel like a lot of shit with her is fool's gold, bro.
How?
Like, okay, like Insecure, great. Like, tell me what the fuck that she's done that's so good since Insecure. Rap shit wasn't good.
Rap shit first season was good. I like the first season. But yeah. And I just like Issa Rae.
Okay.
Yeah.
I cannot be impressed. I'm not impressed.
But one of them days was good. It's a modern take, like kind of like it was like Friday. You know, if you enjoy Friday, you
It's Keke
probably,
Palmer and SZA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
You don't like Keke Palmer?
Why can't it be I don't like SZA? Why you at that?
I'm asking. I'm getting to the root.
Keke Palmer gets on my nerves a little bit.
Why? What is it?
It's performative.
She's an actress.
What does that mean? There's a lot of actresses that don't act like Keke Palmer.
Yeah, but I think I like it on Keke Palmer because it's like, you know, she's always
Keke Palmer Keke Palmer is literally the walking embodiment of girl you in danger.
Why?
That's how I feel like she talks.
I don't know. I like Keke Palmer and I think she's really funny.
You're entitled to like Keke Palmer. I don't know her personally, so I don't have anything to not like her.
Yeah, she is.
Well, you know, if you want to sleep with Keke Palmer, that's, you know,
but that's not why. Like, I think she's funny. I think she can act. I think she is capable of a lot of things, and we're gonna see more of it.
I feel like if we ever was around Keke Palmer, you would laugh mad hard at her jokes that aren't funny.
No, I don't do that. That's not me.
I feel like for Keke Palmer, you would. That's how it sounded.
Nah, man, I wouldn't do that.
I'm not impressed.
I mean, I wouldn't do that. Not for Keke. There's other people.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it, but I'm not impressed.
I'd be cracking up for Regina Hall though.
Yo, she is funny though.
Yeah, she's hilarious. So I'll be laughing hard.
I would too. I see her. All I'll be thinking about is the best man.
Yeah, it's like candy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, what else? Let's get into some music. The album. You want to get into the album we're doing today?
Yes, let's get into it.
All right. So the album that we're doing today is from a gentleman that has become that's bigger than hip hop. You know, at this point, you know, he's one of these names that's just synonymous. He's I want to say top 2 best-selling rap artists of all time, if not one.
He's number 1.
Okay. And we're talking about Eminem. Eminem released technically his debut, but it's his second album.
Right.
You know, Infinite was his first album. His second album, Slim Shady LP, is when he really became true to form and found different ways to like express himself. Like his lyrics stepped up a notch. He had this polarizing alter ego, and he aligned with Dr. Dre and Aftermath. That really took him up another level. This album was released February 23rd, 1999. Album features production from Eminem himself, Dr. Dre, and the Bass Brothers. Debuted at number 2, just below TLC's Fan Mail album, which is that's funny. Considering where Eminem is now, you know, for him to have a number 2 debut, that just doesn't happen anymore. It was a critical and commercial success. It was, of course, led by the single My Name Is, in addition to Role Model and Guilty Conscience. The album also won Best Rap Album at the Grammys that following year. What were your initial thoughts on Slim Shady when it dropped?
So when it dropped, I didn't listen to it.
Interesting.
So when the Slim Shady LP first dropped, like My Name Is was huge, right? But I was just really locked in with like Jay-Z, DMX, like and those kind of like and that I was really big on like Def Jam artists at that time. Obviously, because I was getting free shit. Like I don't think I had to tell y'all. Like we on like what episode like 250 something. Y'all know my cousin worked at Def Jam, so I used to get free music all the time. So at that time, like if I didn't like, you know, I was 13 years old. Like in 1999, I couldn't just walk to the store and buy an album. But if I was gonna go to the store and buy an album, it wasn't like I just thought like, okay, he's like the white guys that I'm in school with. At that time, I was in Long Island, and so when this album first came out, I just knew that My Name Is was a big song, and Guilty Conscience was a big song, and Eminem was on MTV 24/7, and that he basically was making like the white kids that I went to school with that I knew didn't listen to hip hop fans. So the first Eminem album that I listened to in full was the Marshall Mathers LP. I listened to that album. Like I actually remember walking to Third Avenue. There's a kid from my neighborhood. His name is Arthur. We went to the store together. It was in the summertime, and we went. There was a record store on Third Avenue. We went and got the album together. And like I listened to the album. So I listened to the album with my mother. But when I did first listen to the Slim Shady LP, I listened to it and I was like, okay, like this album is like very like slapstick. That's kind of like how I felt about it. But I was like, there's like lyrical, like you could tell like at this time Eminem was like in a very immature place. But also what I realized is that a lot of this album was done before he met Dr. Dre.
Mm-hmm.
And like Dr. Dre came on board and like added more to it, kind of like what he did with Kendrick on Kendrick's first album.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I was aware that Eminem could like rap really well, but I didn't realize that until the Marshall Mathers LP. Slim Shady LP, I didn't like, cause like I said, I didn't dive into like the lore of like Eminem and, you know, being, I forgot what's the name of the crew that he used to hang out with in Jersey? Anybody know? No?
In Jersey?
Yeah, the Outsiders. He came up with the Outsiders. So like he used to go to lyricists now. So like Eminem was known for being a lyrical rapper.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought when I was 13 that Eminem was kind of just like, you know, funny. Like I thought he was just like a funny guy because I only knew my Name Is and Guilty Conscience.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I would see like his interviews and stuff on MTV. Like he was on MTV more than LeBron is on ESPN.
Yeah, he lived on MTV.
Yeah, he lived on it. Like, yo, he like it was him, Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Limp Bizkit. Like that was it. And like we would get a sprinkle of them talking about Jay-Z and Cash Money and shit like that, and Master P. But like, yeah, like he really like owned that shit. So like it was just, and then I just thought it was weird because I couldn't understand why Dr. Dre was working with him. Cause I was like, it's Dr. Dre, like, you know, NW. Like I was like, it was like a shock to me initially. But like obviously when I went to go back to revisit it, mind you, I didn't listen to the Slim Shady LP. When did the Eminem show come out?
2000.
The Eminem show?
No, sorry, 2002.
That's when I listened to the Slim Shady LP.
Yeah.
That's when I went back to it and like in full, like I never heard it. I knew about the song Kim and I knew about 97 Bonnie and Clyde, but I never listened.
Kim is on Marshall Mathers.
I'm sorry. That's why I meant 97. to say 97 Bonnie and Clyde. Like I never, like, you know, my friends were like telling me, you know, like it's like you should listen. And I was just like, it just didn't appeal to me. And, you know, like I understand like the charm and like the lore of the project, but like I didn't think like I needed to listen to that album. Yeah. And I think I was right.
I think
at that time. And I'm not saying, this is not me saying like, and like the album was bad. I'm just saying like, I'm a 13-year-old black kid from Harlem. Like, I wasn't running out to listen to Eminem's first album. His second album, like, you know, he just really blew up by that time. I'm happy that I heard the Slim Shady LP in 2002 versus in 1999, because I don't think that I would have enjoyed it as much as I did as I got older.
Okay.
At 15 years old, I definitely had a better chance at the time.
I think I'm on the opposite end of that, because like when it came out, you know, like you said, I was like 13. And I think I was an immature kid, and I think his take on hip hop was different to me because one, My Name Is was so catchy. But then when you get to the album, he's actually like really rapping. So I thought that was really cool because My Name Is essentially was a troll song to kind of like to the MTV kids, you know, like, this is fun or whatever. But then they get the album and you get dark ass songs like 97 Bonnie and Clyde. If they thought that it was going to be some troll shit the whole way, and it wasn't. And it was a great introduction to to his skill set and what he was able to do. So when this album first dropped, like I flocked to this album mostly because of my oldest brother bought it and he bought it because of his ties to Dr. Dre. He was like, oh yeah, Dr. Dre is involved, so it gotta be good, you know? So that kind of just gave him that pass. And I think when I listened to it, I wasn't disappointed. And there's songs on here that I still really like his top-notch, his lyricism on this is crazy. You know, when you listen to it now, his voice is so different. You know, he was so immature then, but he was telling stories. There was like stories in these raps that I really still liked that showed his skill set.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Eminem's ability to rap can never be challenged or denied. I think that for me, I just knew that at 13, like the way, like I think like we all like, all right, like your brothers had like heavy influence on you, right? So for me, like I had like an uncle and like my mom who were like big like Rakim fans and shit like that. So for me at 13, like I was still like finding my way of like learning like absolutely like what I liked. So I'm such a like a Jay-Z and like DMX fan at that time. Like I'm telling you, 13-year-old Taurian, like if I were listen to this album, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like this is just stupid white people shit. Like that's what I would have thought.
Yeah.
But like as I got older, I was able to listen to it and appreciate it. I'm just glad that I like waited. I probably still would have changed my mind anyway, but I just know I wouldn't have gave him a chance. Like I was cool with My Name Is and everything like that. I'll go even further. I didn't think this nigga was gonna make it. I thought, okay, he put out this album, Slim Shady LP, is cool and everything like that. I didn't think, I really didn't. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, I was 13, so don't like really like judge me for like my thought process.
Yeah. No, I get it. And because of that, you'll get some leeway from that. I just think that, like when I first heard My Name Is, I was like, yo, who is this dude? Right? Because I wasn't up on Infinite when it came out. So like this was my introduction to Eminem. So like just seeing Dr. Dre and knowing who he was and him being involved, it just gave him a pass, and I think it was the perfect send off for him to catapult with, because he already had, I mean, he's white.
He saved Dr. Dre's fucking career.
Yeah. Especially at this time. He did. But Dr. Dre still had a name,
Dr. Dre still had a name, but I think that like this Eminem, like I know he was working on 2001, but I think Eminem's success like kind of like bought him more time.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it definitely made it. It was because Eminem is a fucking bank, bro. Like Eminem makes money in his sleep, bro. Like his albums still sell. Like he sometimes if you look at end of year like album sales, Eminem is still listed like for selling millions of records still. So that's what I'll say about that. Like, like I think Dr. Dre acknowledges that too. But like, if I'm Dr. Dre, like I think the heavens put, like when I say my prayers, I include Eminem in my prayers if I'm Dr. Dre.
Yeah, because he dropped. When did the Aftermath album drop? Was that 97?
It was 97, and that didn't do well.
Yeah, it didn't do good.
Right. So and then he did. So the Firm album was 96 or 97. The Firm was 96.
I want to say 97, maybe 97.
Dr. Dre, 96, and then the Aftermath. So Aftermath album was 96. So
97.
And the Firm was 97. So that was two panned projects that Dr. Dre put out that I don't think that a lot of people were able to put, like really like people thought he was done. Like Dr. Dre, he probably was just gonna like start collecting money and everything like that. Eminem really saved that nigga, bro. Like he was, Dr. Dre was ice cold at that time. I could be like, and maybe it's something I'm missing. Maybe but like he wasn't working with Snoop. Like
he had just left. He had just left Death Row.
Yeah, in 1999, Dr. Dre was ice cold, bro. Like when he says his prayers, whether he blessing his food, saying his prayers before at night, he should thank Eminem.
And thank you, Eminem.
Yeah, he should say thank you, Eminem.
Amen. All right, so on this album, the album kicks off with this PSA that I feel like, with the controversy that Eminem gets and that's attached to him, I feel like a lot of people overlook this PSA, and it's there for a reason. Like, is necessary advice going into this album. And I think people just look at it as like lore. Cause like he says like, yo, yeah, no, like, don't overlook this content or don't take this so serious or whatever. It's like he had it again on March Madness LP, but like, I think that's there because the content on this album is so like in your face and it's so controversial that you need something like that to kick this album off.
Yeah, it was different. Like him bringing his white angst into hip hop was something that really was something that we hadn't seen before in hip hop culture, because like being around like white boys, like or like the kind of like frat boys and stuff like that, and like hearing like their sense of humor and like things that like they find funny, was like something that like we never like experienced. So Eminem kind of bringing that to mainstream, like, so most white guys were like, oh man, like he's speaking to us or whatever like that. But for us, we were like, this is what the fuck they do.
Yeah, because I didn't know any white people at this time. I didn't know any white people. I didn't have any white friends.
Yo, bro, I had such a culture shock. Like moving out to Middle Island. That's exit 64 on the Long Island Expressway. Like, and actually, like, I had white friends before that, but like going to school with white kids, like, in Longwood High School where I went was, well, at that time I was in middle school, but going to Longwood Middle School, like, that was like a culture shock for me because like I was like really, really around like white kids that like only listen to like rock music or like never didn't know what racism was, like shit like that, or like white kid. Like when I went to Long Island, like and I had like classmates that were like prescribed to like doing like taking like Prozac and shit, like fucking pills. Like what the fuck? Like it was just weird. Like, or like, you know, like really seeing like kids tell their moms they hated them and shit. I didn't think that was real.
Yeah, shit like that I just used to see in movies. So
yeah,
like when
seeing that shit up front.
When I would hear Eminem, I'm like, yo, this white boy is fucking crazy. Like even hearing a song like Brain Damage, where he's talking about being bullied by this kid in school and like the detail of it, and then coming to find out that it's actually real. And then not only is it real, but I remember it coming out about the kid D'Angelo Bailey trying to sue him for $1 million in court, and then he lost. And then the judge wrote a rap about it. That's how insane that time frame was.
Nah, bro. I feel like at that time everybody was trying to make money off of Eminem.
Yeah,
like remember his mother did the song with Everlast.
Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. Or his mother suing him. I know she tried to sue him for I think.
I thought she did sue him. I thought it worked.
She did. Yeah, she did sue him. I just forget what song it was. But yeah, everybody was in Eminem's pockets at this time, and it was just this surge to superstardom was really, really quick, and obviously it had a lot to do with him being white, you know. But also it's just like this album is just riddled with controversy, and then you have a song like Guilty Conscience, that's a classic song. It's just some elements of that song just wouldn't pass today. Like even him bringing up D Barnes would not go over today. That would be all over the place, especially with people looking at Dr. Dre now the way that they're looking at him. You know, that was like, that's crazy. Like you say that on a song, like shit is sweet, would not go down today.
Telling you, man. Reggie, what was you doing at 13 listening to this fucking album, bro?
I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, no business listening to the album. Your mom ain't know what you was listening to.
I didn't have business listening to half the shit I was listening to.
Yeah, but this album in particular.
Yeah, but it was like
13-year-old old Reggie shouldn't be listening to this. I don't care if he's from Detroit.
That's true. You said that's what did it?
My father's what did
it. But yeah, so no, you're right. I didn't have any business listening to this, but I was running this shit back. Especially I don't want to skip too far ahead, but we're just naming songs at this point. A song like As the World Turns, crazy storytelling. It's funny. It's like unimaginative. Like it's just out of this fucking world. Like his wordplay on that. I remember being in my brother's car and him rewinding that shit. Like, yo, this dude is crazy. Yeah. Him rewinding this shit because it was so crazy.
Terrible Big Brother.
Go-Go Gadget Dick part.
Terrible
just
Big Brother.
The imagery of the song is great. It's just on this album, you know, he has those moments of playfulness, but then he also has songs like If I Had, you know, where it's a serious song where he's not rapping as Slim Shady.
Right.
He's rapping.
He's Marshall.
Yeah, he's Marshall on that one. There's only like 2 or 3.
I just thought about this, like, essentially, like, Thomas is like a huge Tyler the Creator fan because I played Smuckers for him.
Yeah.
So, like, am I as bad as Shaywan?
Well, yeah. Because Tyler is the inception of that.
But I didn't play Bastard for him. I played Smuckers that was off Cherry Bomb.
Yeah, but he went back and he played Bastard.
That was on his own.
Pretty sure he played it on his own.
That was on his own.
You know, you open up that portal, man. He was like, what else is damn, this song is good. What else he got?
All right.
You know, because that's the kid's curious mind.
I just thought about it as you said it.
That's how it is, man. But I like also the self-awareness of this album, because a song like Role Model, you know, where he knows that the shit that he's saying he shouldn't be looked at as a role model, but he's like, yo, don't you want to grow up to be just like the whole, you know, the sarcasm of that, you know, there's a lot, and it's a lot of self-awareness. My fault. I didn't know what mushrooms were. I didn't know what he was talking about. I never meant to give you mushrooms. Like when I was a kid listening to that, I'm like, the fuck is he talking about mushrooms?
I said, all right, too, bitch. Quit grabbing my t-shirt.
But yeah, just hearing moments like that where it's like, I can't relate to this. And I've said this on this podcast a million times, where this album is probably one of the reasons why I say that, is that like, I don't necessarily have to relate to music to like it. I'll just listen and be in your world for a little bit.
I don't either. I don't either. But
Yeah.
I really like Eminem. Like he really was pushing the envelope. Like he took it to a whole nother level. Like what Uncle Luke and them did to like get the Parents Who Advisory sticker. Eminem should have got a different kind of sticker for the shit that he was rapping about, bro. Like some kids literally became like, I'm not like, let me make sure I word this properly. There are some kids who listened to this album and went and experimented with certain drugs solely because Eminem said it.
Yeah, I know. And me as an individual that was fortunate enough to have both of my parents,
exactly,
listening to something like this was like, it was escapism, just to like and it was storytelling. I like storytelling.
You was rebelling, Reg.
I was just listening. I wasn't going out and being like, yeah, let me try to use mushrooms that he's talking about. Like, no, it was just a listening experience for me. Because I wasn't doing none of the shit Eminem talks about. Yeah. So like by the time Marshall Mathers LP came out and people was actually committing crimes and doing this crazy shit or taking him to court because they're like, oh, my kid was influenced by this. I'm like, really? Y'all really going out and doing this shit?
Yeah, man.
It's crazy to me.
Like you got to think, white kids had somebody that like they could like see and identify with. Mm-hmm. It was just like, yo, I can't say the N word. None of this. Like they finally found. They were like, I could say I hate you, mom.
Mm-hmm. And for me, none of that shit was sticking with me, influence-wise. It was just like a fun listen.
It was also times they got to the other counterparts, Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. They were all huge. Marilyn Manson, Limp Bizkit was huge. System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine was like on the way down, but Rage Against the Machine was still big. Music festivals were huge at that time. I do think because of Eminem, like hip hop was more accepted at music festivals. Mm-hmm. He didn't do that 99 Lollapalooza, but like, you know, that was like a big deal, you know, when it looked like DMX was performing for the world. Mm-hmm. So, Eminem definitely changed a lot of things. Like he definitely, him going on those tours. Yeah. Like he went going on the Up and Smoke tour. Mm-hmm. Like that was a big deal because like that was his first taste of a tour. And then basically like him like eventually going on his own tour and like pretty much like changing people's lives and everything like that. Like, Alvon tells me stories about like going on tour for that. And I'm like, damn, like I wish
he went on tour for this.
For Eminem's first tour. Eminem's first, like, not for Slim Shady LP. Eminem's first, like, solo headlining world tour. So I believe that was for Marshall Mathers LP.
Damn, I didn't know he'd been down with Shady that long.
Yeah, he was with Shady for that long. And, like, the first project that, like, really got his claim to fame was Obi Trice's first album.
Oh, Cheers. Yeah, Cheers. I really like that album.
Yeah, Alvon, essentially, like, Alvon, like, did, like, a lot of, like, the East Coast work, like, making sure, like, promotion and everything. Like, I believe that album, like, I think it went gold on the first day or some shit like that.
Yeah, it did pretty well. I had that album first day. I really liked Obi Trice.
Alvon helped with it, like, because that was when Street Teams was like a thing. So like he did like a lot of promotion for that project.
Yeah. What else is on here? So outside of like the humor and everything like that, the white humor that we can't relate to, is there any songs on here that you really like?
Oh, of course. Guilty Conscience, Role Model, Rock Bottom, 97 Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay.
And like My Name is just like, that was just my introduction. So I definitely keep My Name is as like a song that like, you know, even when I hear it, it's like, hi kids.
Yeah,
do you like
violence?
Yeah, you know. It's one of those things, you know.
And I like the serious moments of this album too. Like Just Don't Give a Fuck. Like songs that he really talks about like being at the bottom of being at his worst of luck. And, you know, I think even a song like, there's a song where he talks about like being fired and having $40 to his name when he recorded it, and he had to scrap up some cash to, you know, get something for Haley for her birthday. It was right before her birthday. Oh, rock bottom. Yeah, he talks about that.
Right.
Shit like that. I'm like, all right, this is cool to see the duality of him, where it's like, you know, you're this silly jokester dude or whatever controversial figure, but then you also have this other side to you. And then we got a chance to see more of that side for Marshall Mathers LP. I think this was the perfect kind of launching point for him.
Okay. I will say that some things about this album that I find trouble with. Knowing now, like, you know, what we know about Eminem, right? Like, truthfully, like, this album kind of like, well, he found balance on the Marshall Mathers LP, and that's why the album is so good. But this album, like, we really didn't get, like, because everything was like kind of like so like playful and shit like that. Excuse me. Besides like rock bottom, we didn't really like know like a lot of personal stuff about him. Like he wasn't able to give us like personal depth, and like that was like something that like I couldn't help but compare this album to Marshall Mathers LP because this wasn't my introduction to Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that like was like a huge thing for me. Another thing is like there's like a lot of filler tracks on this album, right? There's skits like that don't kind of really, like, public service announcement was needed, but like the Ken skit like I didn't.
That show's hilarious.
Okay. There was a little bit of an overuse of shock value, but like I said, I guess I'm a little bit more conservative. You know, I'm a little bit more square. And some of the production, because like most people think that that Dr. Dre produced his whole album as the Bass Brothers.
Yeah, and Eminem too.
Yeah, and Eminem. So like the production isn't as good as it could have been. You know, this is early producer Eminem. Like Eminem is a very good rap producer, but like, you know, it kind of like left more to desire.
Okay. I do agree that the album is a little long. It's 20 songs. There are some skits that are just there just cause, like, you know, like soap, like the soap skit, like the what else? The lounge skit that it's just some things on here that I'm like, you know, I could have did without that. Like I see why you tied it in the way you did, but it's just filler at this point. It's just fluff, you know. But the songs I really like on here, like 97 Bonnie and Clyde, as dark as it is really brilliant storytelling, you know, and he doesn't even curse on that song. I didn't realize that till years later. He doesn't curse on that song, and he tells a whole,
because he's talking to his daughter.
Yeah, exactly. He tells this dark ass story, and he just makes it seem like it's okay, like he's rapping in his fucking chipper voice, but it's so dark, you know, and it's like, damn, this dude. But yeah, there's some brilliant moments on here, but I agree that, you know, he refined his pen and really got a chance to see the difference between Marshall Mathers and Slim Shady.
For this being like today, like I guess is if I have to really like be analytical, like this is the Slim Shady LP. Like this is, you know, so it's something where I'm like, okay, like Slim Shady would make a immature album that doesn't have like a lot of depth and like kind of like is like more so like funny shit and everything like that, right? Especially when we have like the depth of Slim Shady album, right? In hindsight, but the Marshall Mathers LP was so fucking good.
Yeah,
the Marshall Mathers LP is so fucking good.
Is that your favorite Eminem album?
Yes.
Okay.
Like I used to really enjoy the Eminem show, but the Marshall Mathers LP, bro.
Eminem show is my favorite.
Eminem show is your favorite?
Yeah,
nah, Marshall Mathers.
It feels like Eminem at his most complete. It's like it has Marshall Mathers darkness and tone. It has some Slim Shady LP elements, but then there's that part where it's like, all right, y'all niggas going, well, not niggas because it's Eminem, so you better not be saying that. But he's like, y'all better take me serious as a MC. Like I'm really here. Like this is really what it is. So he leaned into that more. His production got better. I think overall as an artist, he just stepped it up a notch.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have any argument with that.
Yeah. But want to get to your rating?
Yes. A 3 out of 5 waffles for the Slim Shady LP. It's not a slight. It's his debut album. You know, his first go around. Like he does. Eminem has a classic album in his catalog. A classic album in his catalog, but you know, everything can't be a classic. You know, it's not a slight. It's a good album. Album sold a lot of records. You know, a lot of people still listen to it. You know, we just celebrated the anniversary a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
for the project.
20 years.
Yeah,
20 what?
No, it's 25 years. Yeah,
Jesus. Wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
right.
It's crazy.
Oh,
yeah, man.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, for me, I would give this album a 3.5. I think this album holds a significant place in my childhood. I think when I think about like the imagination and just, you know, where I like to go sometimes even when I write short stories and stuff, it's things that I can't relate to. And like, I can harken that back to like even enjoying this album. Like, I don't relate to this. I just like stories. Right. Hearing As the World Turns, as cartoonish of a story as that is entertaining. As dark as 97 Bonnie and Clyde is entertaining. There's different scale. The scale just tips differently for different songs on this album, you know, and it was my first time being able to listen to an album like this that dared to be so different and controversial. So it was like the controversy of it was specifically aimed at kids that didn't live in this type of, you know, world, you know? So like I would liken that to even watching a rated R movie when you're a kid. And it's like, I'm not supposed to be watching this, but this is gravitating to me because it's that part of it that you know you're not supposed to be consuming that makes it all the more better. But then as you grow up, it loses some of that lure, right? Because it's like, well, I'm grown now. Like, the fuck are you talking about? And I think his self-awareness in that is cool because now you get something like the death of Slim Shady as he's in his 50s, you know, and killing that character off because realistically, it just can't last forever. But I think I rate this album a 3.5 because it was a moment in time, and I think you just had to be there. The frustrating part of it is that you won't really get the lure of it if you weren't a part of that time frame.
Yeah, it won't. It
just won't grab you.
Like if you didn't hear it in real time, it just doesn't. I don't think it connects as much as it should, and especially like seeing like how popular he was and how all over like how much he controlled media. Like he was just as big as the pop stars. Like at that time, like Ricky Martin was huge and Sync was huge, Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera, Backstreet Boys. Like that was all of what you saw. Like he was like, even though he hated it, he was on the cover of Teen magazine and shit like that, bro.
I was just about to say, and what was cool about that was that he was so anti that. So it like,
if you think about it, all of Eminem's real rap beefs were with fucking pop stars.
All the kids that were like rebellious and everything like that, they saw something in Eminem that they gravitated to. You know, so like he was the mouthpiece for a lot of those people. But yeah, I think you just had to be there. Eminem, I mean, still is a super, super duper star, but this is where it all started. And I think it's an important cornerstone for him.
I just know Regg ain't gonna be allowed back home.
I mean, I gave it a 3.5. That's pretty respectable. I mean, I know some diehard Eminem fans that are probably not gonna like that. Like I know some personally. Like shout out to Nate. Nate's probably gonna call me when he see this. He's a diehard.
What up, though?
He's a diehard Eminem fan, so we gonna see how that goes. But if you never listened to this album, I'm curious to know what you think. If you go back and listen to it, in this day and age, let me see if let us know how that resonates for you. I'm First Class Regg.
And I'm Taurian B.
We're out of here.
I'm Taurian motherfucking B.
He said, "What up, though?" I just kept staring at the camera.
Done.